So today's Chameleon inside look starts early in the morning, and what we're going to do is start you off with where the glass comes from. So out here in the shop in the morning, the kilns, just like these, are emptied out. As you can see, nothing left in there, nothing left in there, nothing left in there. And once the kilns are emptied out, they go into protective gun cases. The reason we put them in protective gun cases is because we don't want them jostling around, scratching against each other, because glass will scratch glass. Little morning brunch for the boys. Everybody say hi. Here's the cases. And so what happens is they get loaded up and come into quality control. We'll see if we can't find a full one somewhere. This one feels kind of heavy. There we go. And so yesterday we had some birds made, some Jack Skellingtons, and some black cherries that came out of, that's probably 2 kilns worth of stuff. And goes into quality control, and there's a case laid out on this desk. And a lot of people accuse us of having magnifying glasses to find this stuff. That's not such a bad thing. I'll take that hit any day. But we do check the stuff very thoroughly. And this is Nate.
Hello.
And Nate's getting ready to work on the Happy Pirate number 118p. Nate, when you sit down and you're rolling through stuff, what's some of the stuff that you look for as far as defects and seconds?
Well, the first thing I look for on any piece is reject reasons. So, first thing I always check for, look for cracks. It's the main thing. Checking cleaning holes, mouthpieces, make sure they're fire polished.
Nice and smooth so they're not tearing up anybody's skin.
Yep. Anything sticking off here, make sure it didn't chip. Anything like that. Make sure it's got a flat spot. And that's all the first things I check for. And then after that, I basically go and make sure everything looks consistent sizes. So all throughout the day, you did a pretty good job keeping it the same size. And then right after that, it's just, cosmetics. Does it look good? Does that smile look like a nice smile? Symmetrical eyes. We want it to look like a nice piece.
Yep.
So that, nice fuming.
Tell me about fuming. What do you look for?
Basically, we want a nice, even blue tint, not too dark.
Oopsie. Second.
So this and this compared, this is a much nicer fume compared to that, and we usually
second it.
Yeah, usually second it, and yeah. Sorry,
what about the? That's okay. What about the bowl hole and the bowl size?
Bowl hole. Each bowl hole we want to make sure it's big enough to where it has nice airflow. So I always use this to check, make sure this can fit through, and then we also make sure this doesn't fit through, so the bowl's not too big to where all your tobacco is entering your mouth.
Exactly. So we want it big enough so that it doesn't get all plugged up, but we don't want it too big so that it's nice ash in your mouth.
Exactly.
All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and hang out, go ahead and rip through some of these puppies and show the peeps what we do every day.
So I always count them first, see how many they did in the day. Go off the list that shop made, make sure their number matches up with ours. So 48 out of 48, figure out the stock number. It's 118p for the Pirates. And then usually take about 5 seconds on average to look at things, you know, scan through it. We don't want to spend too much time on it, but we want to spend enough time to make sure we're thorough. Always feeling for sharp edges, chips, whatever. Looking for cracks right here on the mouthpieces. 99 out of 100 times will be there. So that's always the first place I look. So make sure there's no reject reasons. Check it out. It's a nice face. Eyes are symmetrical. Nice bowl hole. Nice deep bowl. We don't want it too deep to where it's at the bottom and it's getting stuck, but we don't want it too shallow to where
it's a pinner.
Yeah, to where no one wants to buy it. So we get to one like this. See how it sits like that.
Yeah,
whole face is crooked off to the side. We got a bubble right here and a pretty crooked bowl hole. Might even be too big. It's not too big, but it's definitely crooked. So that's a definite second. So we'll put that over here.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Flat spot.
All right. That's what Nate's doing. Walk over here. Mike's doing the same, so no reason to go through any of it, but we'll show you what he's up to right now.
Hello.
And today, Mike is doing 801s, which is the ash catcher. Excuse me, the avatar, not the ash catcher avatar. We're doing some glow, teal colored glow, and some of the black reggae sun splash. Actually some black and some green. And some Grim Reapers. White and black. Uh-oh.
We have a crack, so we put a mark there for the crack. Small little crack in there, we put a mark in there.
From underneath the there.
It's kind of hard to see, but under the light, it reflects. That'll be a reject.
So anytime there's a crack, they get rejected and sent back into the shop for rework if it's possible. Sometimes it's not. Right now, Candace was here a second ago, but she figured out that I was coming over, and she disappeared into thin air. So this is the wrapping table. From wrap, everything gets staged. Some of the new other birds that we're doing. Everything gets staged over here. Hello Kitties, some bats, some Gandalfs, and then it gets wrapped up. And once it's wrapped up, we'll see, maybe she snuck out here to put some stock away. Nope. All right. So That's quality control at Chameleon. This has been your Chameleon Insight for that particular process. Leave a message if you have any questions about what we do.